Hit on the ground on a hop to Brocious. Fields, throws across, in time. Ball game over. World Series over. Yankees win. The Yankees win.
And the Yankees are world champions in a dream season. 125 wins, unheard of in our lifetime. We will probably never see this again.
There has never been a team quite like the New York Yankees. It's a team built by legends with mythic figures through fabled stories that have stood the test of time. Heroes, new ones, emerge with each passing decade. Some rising to the moment, others simply rising out of nowhere. In the last 100 years, one team has stood alone. So in the final season of the century, it was only fitting the New York Yankees would be 1999 world champions. Major League Baseball Productions presents Team of the Century. Following the euphoria of the 1998 championship, the Yankees began the 99 season in typical business-like fashion, but with heavy hearts for Yankees past.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Yankees remember the Yankee Clipper, Joe DiMaggio. He will always be remembered.
As the season progressed, the team also welcomed Yankees present back into the fold.
You know, the whole team was looking forward for Joe Torre to come back, and that was, I think, the moment for us to get focused, and you know, Torre gave us that push that we needed.
And so the Yankees set out to capture their 25th world title any way they could.
A comebacker, there's the good athleticism. He throws the glove to first for the out. The ball was stuck in his glove, and so he threw the entire thing over to get out number 2. What an intelligent play by El Duque.
A one-handed running catch. Paul O'Neill drove it. Unbelievable. Burn, baby, burn. He struck him out swinging.
Scott Brocious in dramatic fashion. What a play. This one is gone.
And no one set the tone better than Derek Jeter.
57 consecutive games, Jeter has reached base.
You know, when going into a season, you want to get off to a fast start, because I think that really sets the tone for the rest of the year. And it's something I worked on in the offseason. I worked real hard to be ready for opening day. And, you know, when you're playing on this team, you have a lot of special players. And you just basically go out and you do your role and play your part in order to help the team win.
Hit hard to right field. And the Yankees are going to win the game.
Jeter was fast becoming another in a long line of Yankee legends. But not even he could top David Cohn's moment of perfection.
My head was tingling because you could just feel the emotion in the crowd. And I pointed up in the sky at the ball as if no one knew where the ball was. And I remember putting my hands on my head almost in disbelief that this is going to happen.
Ball game over. A perfect game. A perfect game for David Cohn. 27 up, 27 down.
I was overcome with emotions, and we were just thanking each other, and I was just holding on to him and squeezing him tight. And, you know, it's a moment that I'll never forget and I'll never let go of.
It is the third perfect game in Yankee Stadium history. Don Lawson in 56, David Wells in 98, David Cohn in 99.
After clinching the best record in the American League, the Yankees began defense of their World Championship standing. Their familiar first-round foes in the division series were the offensive-minded Texas Rangers, hoping to avenge a sweep by the Yankees in 1998. But the script remained unchanged. The Rangers lineup, which scored 945 runs in 1999, simply had no answer for Yankees pitching.
Blew it right by Rodriguez.
For the second straight year, the Rangers managed just 1 run in 3 games. The Yankees had no such problem.
And Strawberry launches one to deep left center field. Way back at the track, at the wall, and gone.
With their mighty arsenal of weapons, the Yankees swept the Rangers for the second consecutive season. New York would play for the pennant. The question was, against whom? Would it be the Cleveland Indians, the first team since 1950 to score 1,000 runs? It certainly seemed so, as they took a 2-game lead over Boston in their division series. But Cleveland was about to get beaten at its own game. With 33 runs in 2 games, a record 21-1, Boston tied the series.
Crank up the engine, folks. The Red Sox look like they're headed for Cleveland, Ohio.
Jacobs Field in Cleveland was the site for Game 5, and both teams exchanged blows, tied at 8 after 3 innings. But once Boston's unlikely reliever, Pedro Martinez, came out of the bullpen, the Indians were rendered powerless and hitless.
Inning over. Pedro Martinez strikes out 6.
7 strikeouts for Martinez.
And reality is starting to set in. Down 2 games to none. The Boston Red Sox have come storming back, and they are in the American League Championship Series.
New York played host to one of baseball's best rivalries, the first time ever in the playoffs.
Before the series, I was talking to Yogi, and he talked to me and he said, "We've been playing these guys for 80 years. They cannot beat us." And I was like, wow.
Swung on a drill deep to center field. Doing back Lewis. See ya! A home run! Bernie Williams! And the Yankees take a 1-0 lead in the best of 7.
With the Yankees up by 2 games, the series moved to Fenway Park, where the matchup of the year pitted former Red Sox ace Roger Clemens against his successor in Boston. Pedro had struck out 17 Yankees in a game once already this year.
Swing and a miss. He struck him out on a breaking ball. Pedro with 11 strikeouts.
The Yankees were dealt their first postseason loss, 13-1. But in Game 5, LCS MVP Orlando Hernandez helped right the ship, allowing just 1 run in 7 innings, while pulling the Yankees 1 game closer to their World Series destiny.
Line into the left field corner. They're waiting for it as Spencer and the Yankees are going back to the World Series to defend their crown.
That's the toughest part, is getting back to the World Series. And you work since the middle of February, and you have 1 goal, and that's to get to the World Series and have a chance to win it.
World Series bound yet again.
In the National League, the Atlanta Braves were the team to beat, having won a Major League high 103 games. The names and faces that symbolized their decade of excellence were back. But in the division series against Houston, new faces played a role.
And the Braves take a 3-2 lead on a blast by Brian Jordan. He's now driven in 5.
Kevin Millwood pitches a 1-hitter in his first playoff game. Listen to this crowd.
Tied at a game apiece in Houston, the series turned with the bases loaded and nobody out in the bottom of the 10th.
Man to start, drawing to the plate, and they get the runner at the plate. An unbelievable play by White.
The play of the postseason by Walt Weiss helped propel the Braves to their 8th straight league championship series. Their opponent there was just 1 swing away.
High fly ball deep to center field. Back goes Finley, going back. Warning track at the wall, and it's out of here! It's out of here! The Mets win the ball game! The Mets win the ball game! The Mets have won the series 3 games to 1!
So with a Subway Series lurking in the dreams of New York fans, the Mets faced a confident Atlanta team, one that had mastered their division rivals all year long, and now took a 3 games to none lead in the series. But the Mets would rebound and seek to become just the second team ever to trail by 3 games and force a Game 6.
1 run wins it, and we go to Game 6. Robin Ventura.
2 nights in a row, the Braves were so close to going to the World Series.
2-1 delivery. Robin Ventura! The Mets win! 4-3! There will be a Game 6!
But in Game 6, the Braves came out swinging.
And a line drive base hit. 4-0 Atlanta.
The Mets were down 5-0, but battled back to trail by 2 with 1 man on in the 7th.
Piazza has not had an extra base hit in the postseason. Smoltz with a 2-1 pitch. And a drive in the air to deep right center field. Back goes Jordan, back to the track, looking up, and it's out of here! Mike Piazza ties the game!
Tied at 7, hoping for Game 7.
But with the bases loaded in the 11th, the Mets' miracle run ended on 1 pitch.
Could be the last pitch of their season. You'd hate for it to end on a walk.
From the belt, here it is. It was given. The Braves are in the World Series. The Braves are in the World Series.
Bring on the Yankees.
The much-anticipated showdown between the Braves and the Yankees was not just a rematch of the '96 World Series. It was also a chance to stake claim as the team of the '90s, a title that was still up for grabs.
0-2 to the batter. And John Smoltz has pitched Atlanta into the World Series.
He hacked at the 2-0, now the 2-1. Line drive and a base hit! Just as they score the tying run. Green to the plate. And he is safe! Safe at the plate! The Braves go to the World Series!
In Atlanta's 3rd trip to the series in '95, the Braves hit pay dirt.
The team of the 90s has its World Championship.
If you'd have told us after the 1999 season that, hey, you've got a chance to have this run, you might only win 1 championship out of the whole mix, but this is what you're going to have, every one of us would have said, absolutely, I'll take it. We've still, over the course of the 90s, won more games than anybody in baseball by a wide margin.
That same year, baseball's most successful franchise ended a 14-year playoff drought.
Don Mattingly finally going to the postseason.
The Yankees would return to the playoffs in '96 and created even more memorable postseason memories.
Sunday afternoon in Baltimore.
The 2-2 pitch.
Ground ball by Cal Ripken Jr. to Derek Jeter at shortstop. Derek throws the ball to first base. Tino makes the play. We're in the World Series. First time for me.
A determined Yankees team would try to regain its past glory against a Braves squad that was making its 4th World Series appearance in 5 years. But Atlanta dominated the first 2 games in New York.
Runner goes, hit deep in the air to left field. He has done it again. The 19-year-old goodbye home run.
The Yanks went on the road, down by 2. And that's precisely when the pinstripe mystique began to surface.
In the air to left field. Back at the track at the wall. We are tied. They are dancing in the streets of New York right now.
The Yankees won 3 straight and headed home.
Game 6 of '96. To see Joe Girardi get the big triple. He ended up being the World Series hero that night and in our first World Series championship.
Swung on and popped up again. Off third. Hayes has room. Hayes makes a catch. The Yankees win. The New York Yankees have won the 1996 World Series.
2 years later, a season for the ages.
A grand slam into the upper deck for Tino Martinez.
1998, wow, what can you say about that year? 125 wins has never been done before. And I really don't think it's going to be duplicated, at least as long as we're living.
In our lifetime, we will probably never see this again. 125
It's that moment when
that last out is made, and everybody's rushing together, and you just look into each other's eyes, and you just realize what we did.
In 1999, the Braves looked to reaffirm their supremacy. Two great teams all year long, seemingly on a predestined collision course.
If the question is sustained excellence, the team of the decade is the Atlanta Braves, but the Yankees have a chance to win their third world title in 4 years and to do it twice at Atlanta's expense.
It was time to crown the champion as baseball's two marquee teams assembled for Game 1 on a cool October night at Turner Field. Thanks to interleague play, the Braves and Yankees had already met this year, a first for World Series opponents. Now, as Game 1 commenced, a lineup change.
The veteran left-hander Tom Glavine, slated to start tonight, has been scratched. He came down with a stomach virus yesterday. Greg Maddux will pitch tonight against Orlando Hernandez.
The Cuban right-hander, known as El Duque, began the game with a 4-0 record in postseason play. And in his first inning of work, he showed why.
The first at bat off Chipper Jones, he struck him out. A real good fastball right on the inside corner.
He struck out the side.
I thought that was a very important bat to show that if he pitched and made the right pitches, he could get their best hitter out.
He's got that motion, he's got the arm angles, he throws strikes with the fastball, with the breaking ball. A couple of them swung at a slider for strike 3, and they kind of were walking away looking back like, you know, what was that pitch right there?
El Duque, razor sharp through his first 3 innings of work.
He probably had the best stuff he's had all year in Game 1 of the World Series. I guess he couldn't have saved it for a better stage.
El Duque struck out 8 of the first 11 batters he faced. He began the 4th inning with his 5th strikeout in a row. But Atlanta's most dangerous hitter was long overdue.
Now he has to deal with Chipper Jones.
And not even El Duque can survive a misplaced pitch to Chipper.
It was supposed to be a fastball away, and that fastball came inside a little bit where Chipper really likes it.
1-0 pitch, swung on and driven deep to right field. Stay fair, ball. Stay fair, it is. Good, home run.
And the Braves take a 1-0 lead.
You know, he made a mistake and he knew it.
The first hit off El Duque is Chipper Jones' first home run of this postseason.
I said, forget about that pitch. That's the only run they're going to get. Let's try to keep us in the game so we can score a couple of runs and win the game.
Hernandez bounced back, retiring the next 8 batters. By the end of the 7th, El Duque had a one-hitter with 10 strikeouts.
He was just overpowering. He was getting everybody off balance. You could feel their frustration as the game went along.
But Maddux was mastering the Yankees with equal ease. And this 1-0 game moved into the 8th, looking very much like a classic. Down to their final 6 outs, the Yankees summoned the magic that has served them so well.
Scott Brosius starts it in the New York 8th, and he's 3 for 3. They have 4 hits, and 3 of them are Scott Brosius singles.
The 1998 World Series MVP was once again the catalyst. Joe Torre had a dilemma.
So I have a choice. I guess I could leave El Duque in there and bunt, or try to win the ball game and have Darryl Strawberry go up.
That is it for Orlando Hernandez. Darryl Strawberry heads for the batter's box. He is still obviously a feared hitter at age 37.
It was a difficult decision. Hernandez was pitching a gem, but this opportunity cried out for a hitter's eye.
He walked him. Runners at first and second, nobody out.
His power threat is something that, in my opinion, has caused us to have that walk.
We're also going to get a pinch runner, Chad Curtis, coming into the game to run for Strawberry at first.
So the Yankees get 2 men on in an inning for the first time, and now Knobloch has to bunt him over.
I knew walking up there, I knew I was going to bunt with men on first and second.
Brocious off second, Curtis off first, the pitch, and there's a bunt, a beautiful bunt, past the mound, Hunter fields, drops it, everyone's safe, bases loaded, no one out.
Maddox, everyone knows, Gold Glove winner. I mean, he's a great fielding pitcher. If I bunt it, again, try to bunt it towards third, you know, that's going to be an easy out at third base. So I really tried to just bunt it back toward the mound.
An excellent bunt by Chuck Knobloch. Well, now Maddox has his work cut out for him.
Bases loaded, nobody out, clinging to a 1-run lead. A precarious position for Maddox, especially with Derek Jeter at the plate.
It'll be a 1-2. Swung on line, base hit left field. Scoring is Brocious. A line drive, ribby, base hit by Jeter ties the game. We're tied at 1. Bases loaded, no one out for the middle of the Yankee order.
Just like that, both starters were gone.
And now this will be the end of the night for Greg.
John Rocker comes in with no margin for error. The Braves bring the infield in against Paul O'Neill. Bases loaded, nobody out.
A nagging rib injury and a 190 average against left-handed pitching haunted O'Neill. Rocker had left-handers for lunch. In the face of this scenario, O'Neill's resourceful at-bat was spectacular.
Paul O'Neill worked the count to 3-1, and 3-1 with the bases loaded. I don't care if you throw underhand, overhand, sidearm, you're still going to have to throw it across that 17-inch plate.
Now O'Neill is in control of this at-bat. Rocker has to throw a strike. 3-1, the pitch, hit on the ground, base hit right field. Curtis scores, coming around third is Knobloch. The throw home is not in time, and in the 8th inning, the Yankees take a 3-1 lead.
For Paul to go up there, lefty versus lefty now, and get that hit was just, it was just huge.
But the Yankees weren't quite finished, for with 2 out and the bases loaded, they called on Jim Leyritz for insurance.
The count is now full. 3 runners will take off on the pitch. They go, here it comes. He walks home a 4th run.
The Yankees had taken complete command.
But now the Braves need a 3-run rally just to tie the score. And they've got to do it against one of the toughest relievers in the game, Mariano Rivera.
And with New York's unparalleled closer on the mound, the only thing missing from a 4-1 lead is a ribbon and a bow.
And the pitch to Myers on the way. Little looper toward third, foul territory. Brocious there for the catch. And game 1 of the 1999 World Series goes to the New York Yankees.
Only one team in the last 21 years had won back-to-back World Series. The New York Yankees were 1 game closer to becoming the second. As another chill settled over Turner Field prior to Game 2, thoughts of a summer night in Fenway Park helped to warm the crowd. For it was at the All-Star Game in July, the 100 greatest players in baseball history were unveiled. In the months that followed, millions of fans helped select the top 30, and the living players now reconvened in Atlanta as members of the All-Century Team.
Did you hold your fastball cross seam or with the seam?
Cross seam.
What about if you...
If I tried to sink it, I would hold it with the seam.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, you could probably make a pretty good ball club out of this, couldn't you?
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome your All-Century Team.
You realize how important history is to our sport. I know for me personally, I was very moved by seeing Ted Williams and Yogi and Stan Musial and Gibson and Spahn and Koufax. It was, I mean, these are the greats.
Al Ripken Jr., Johnny Bench, Willie Mays.
It was a great honor for me to be a part of that. I think I would have been just as happy being a fan in the stands.
Nolan Ryan, Pete Rose, Henry Aaron.
We were at the World Series game, we were getting ready to play, and no one was preparing for it. You know, everyone was sitting there sort of watching with their mouths open. To have all those great players on the same field at the same time, I mean, I got the chills when I was watching it. It's a special moment.
Under the specter of a full moon, Kevin Millwood took the mound for Game 2. As usual, the Yankees sought a spark from the top of their order.
Those two guys can really light a fire in the beginning of the game, and I think that those are the two key guys that help our offense go.
The 0-2. Fastball is lined, base hit, left center field.
A leadoff hit for Knobloch. He gives the Yankees a start here in the top of the first.
Jeter lines up, base hit over third, toward the left field line. Knobloch with a turn, he hose on.
Consecutive singles to begin the game.
Not the kind of start that Kevin Millwood hoped for.
But precisely the kind of start Paul O'Neill takes advantage of.
Another line drive, another base hit.
Rounding third, Knobloch, he scores.
And the Yankees are quickly on top.
Still, the fans could see the light after Bernie Williams grounded into a double play, and Tino Martinez fell behind Millwood 1-2.
They come to their feet at Turner Field in anticipation of the pitch that could end the inning and get them out of this, all things considered, with minimal damage.
Breaking ball line up the middle. It's a base hit center field. Jeter scores.
And it's 2-0 New York.
The crowd's been taken out of this game a little bit, too.
Ricky Leday followed Tino's single with a walk. That put runners on first and second for Scott Brocious.
Hit hard, Guillen dives and can't get to it.
Martinez rounds third. He'll score.
We are off to an unpleasant start here if you're a Braves fan. And if you're not, listen to John Sterling.
What an inning for the Yanks.
5 singles in the inning for New York. They now have 11 hits so far in the series, all of them singles.
We're not home run hitters, even though we can hit home runs. For the most part, we're line drive, contact guys. I just keep reminding him, thinking small bites, just one run at a time.
But those small bites gave David Cone a 3-run lead to chew on. Now, Brian Jordan and the Braves faced a stiff challenge. A 3-run deficit and a seasoned pitcher.
Swung and a drive. Deep left field. Back goes Leday to the track, to the wall, and he's got it. The inning is over.
On any normal night or day, that ball is probably 7 or 8 rows back in the seats.
I thought for sure it was a 2-run home run, and the ball stayed in the park. I thought, there it is. There's the break. We scored 3. They're staring at a 2-run home run that doesn't happen, and there was a big swing of momentum right there.
Point, counterpoint. For the Yankees then watched all the breaks go their way in the top of the third, as this game of inches put both Bernie Williams and Tino Martinez on base for Ricky Leday.
Leday swings and lines one in deep left center. In the gap, that ball is going to be a base hit. It'll go all the way to the wall. Bernie scores. Tino is held at third. It's a ribby double.
It's 4-0. Things are not getting any better, and here comes Bobby Cox, and that's going to be all for Kevin Millwood tonight.
Terry Mulholland emerged from the bullpen and retired the first 2 hitters he faced. But the Braves offered little defense, and with Tino now on third, David Cone took an unkind cut.
He hits it on a line to Guillen, who drops it.
He dropped the ball. He dropped the ball. Everybody is safe. A run scored.
When we see errors that are made on the other team, our eyes sort of light up. Make it hurt. You know, that's what we say on the bench a lot of times. Okay, make that one hurt. Let's make it count.
You never want to give David Cone a lead because that allows him to use more of the plate.
He's almost automatic in the postseason. You know, he's a big game pitcher.
David Cone is one of the best big game pitchers of his generation.
Mr. Cone is pretty good when the time is needed for a win.
This game right here could be his last game in a Yankee uniform. Let's say the Yankees win in 4 or 5 games. There is no second start for David Cone, so he wants to show the boss that he can still be a big game pitcher.
And what the boss saw had to make him happy, as Cone held Atlanta hitless through the first 4 innings.
It just didn't seem like a typical no-hitter at that point. But I thought maybe in the middle innings I could get something going and maybe get a good rhythm going and get deep into the game and shut him down. And you know, I think that's kind of the way it played out.
Atlanta fans suffered through Cone's 7-inning, 1-hit mastery Yankee fans rejoiced.
The Yankees prevail and win the ball game 7-2.
2-0 New York in the series.
Back to New York for Game 3. The fans were thinking sweep.
That's where that should have went down tonight, man.
The Braves were looking to do the right thing, but it was a subtle left field thing the Yankees did that would make all the difference. Chad Curtis for Ricky Leday. The New York confidence was high.
We won the first 2 in Atlanta, but you can forget about that unless we win Game 3. And we took every game like it was the 7th game, do or die situation. And I really felt that once you have a team down, you got to kill them.
The Braves' backs were to the wall.
There's a movie written about the pride of the Yankees. I think the Atlanta Braves have a lot of pride too, and I think that's going to show tonight. They have to prove to the world that they're not going to get swept by the Yankees, and if they don't win tonight, it's a great possibility of that happening.
After missing Game 1 due to illness, Tom Glavine took center stage for Atlanta. Andy Pettitte would start New York's 200th World Series game, and the Braves would hit him early and often.
Now the stretch in the 1-1 coming to Brett Boone. He swings, sends a fly ball, deep right field. Back for it goes O'Neill, still going. He looks up, it's off the wall. Heading for third, Gerald Williams. They'll stop him there. Sliding in safely with a double, Brett Boone. And runners are at second and third, nobody out here in the top of the first.
Brocious kicks it, picks it up and throws and gets it, but a run scores.
In the bottom of the first, the Yankees had an answer.
Knobloch slams one to right. Jordan races over, got a glove on it, and it pops out. Knobloch speeding for second. He's in there.
Open the door a crack, and you pay.
Into shallow left to tie the game. These Yankees are almost ruthlessly opportunistic. You give them the slightest chance, and they pounce on it.
But in the third inning, it was the Braves who pounced on Pettitte. It began with the second double of the night by Brett Boone. He moved to third for Brian Jordan.
Liner to right field. It's going to drop in for a base hit, and that'll get Brett Boone home, and the Braves take a 2-1 lead.
But the Braves weren't quite done, for Jordan moved to second on a single by Andrew Jones.
Another chance for the DH Jose Hernandez. Swings on the first one and smacks it down the left field line. That'll be extra bases. Jordan comes home to score. Andrew Jones being waved home. He's right behind him and he touches the plate on the double by Hernandez. It's 4-1 Atlanta.
In the fourth, Boone's third consecutive double scored Gerald Williams, who had tripled. Now it was 5-1, and for the first time in the series, the Yanks were in trouble. But then, the Braves' momentum skipped a beat.
And there goes Boone to third. The pitch is taken. The throwdown is in time.
When I was able to throw Brett Boone out, I felt that he would have scored if I wouldn't have got him.
A great throw by Girardi.
You know, at the time it was 5-1, and they were thumping us pretty good, and I think they'd had 10 hits up until that point.
A Chipper Jones single, which would have scored Boone, followed, and Pettitte left the game. But the Yankees were to get a boost when a relative unknown emerged from the bullpen.
What were the odds about a year ago that Jason Grimsley would see the World Series? A non-roster invitee to Yankee camp this spring and added to the roster for the World Series.
Jason held Atlanta scoreless for 2 1/3 innings.
You see Grimsley come in, he hadn't pitched in a month and wasn't on the roster the first 2 rounds and did a great job in relief. And just to shut the door, because, you know, it doesn't matter to me. You know, I wanted to have a good start, obviously, but the big thing was just to win the game. It was great sitting there on the bench, seeing guys walk by patting me on the leg saying, you know, we're going to pick you up.
Let's go Yankees! Let's go Yankees!
Derek and I were talking the whole game. You know, when they got ahead 5-1, if we can just hold them here, just hold them.
But Glavine was pitching like the Cy Young Award winner he is.
Tom was throwing great. He had the lead, and I really think he threw well the whole game. It just, it seemed like it was one of those games where every pitch that maybe he left up or made a mistake with, it wasn't hit for a base hit, it was hit for a home run.
Line of the pitch, swung on, hit high and deep to right field. Park's not going to hold that one. That's in the seats, an opposite field homer for Chad Curtis, and it's 5-2.
In his first World Series start, Chad Curtis had gone deep, and the Yankee fans also relished 2 more scoreless innings.
I said, I'm going to go out there and try to get strikeouts and get this crowd back in the game so we can pull this out. And I like it when they cheer. I think everybody wants to go out there and produce and get that game-winning hit or game-winning strikeout and hear all the fans go crazy.
Slowly, the Yankees inched closer.
Swung on, he drilled deep to right field. Looking up Jordan. That ball is gone. See ya. Home run, Tino Martinez. Deep into the lower deck, right down the right field line. And the Yankees have closed to within 5-3.
If we get the little crack in the door, if somebody gives us a chance, then it kind of explodes, and I guess we blow right through the door.
Bobby Cox does not do it by formula. He does it by feel, plays hunches a lot, and the key members of this team, especially the pitching staff, have been with him so long that he'll rely on what they tell him.
The Braves had hoped for 7 strong innings from Glavine, and that's what they got. But in the 8th, a decision had to be made.
It kind of boiled down to, did I have enough to go out there and pitch one more inning? Even though I was still throwing the ball pretty well, my body was starting to get a little bit tired. And, I think everybody hemmed and hawed about what we should do, and I guess finally I ultimately just said, all right, I'll go out there. I'll try and go another inning and try and get us 3 outs.
Having thrown 72 pitches through 7, Glavine will start the 8th.
In retrospect, it was probably a mistake.
Swung line, right field, base hit. Girardi hit a rope, and the tying run comes to the plate.
1 on for Chuck Knobloch.
The 2-0. Swung on and hit in the air to right field. Jordan back to the track, to the wall. He leaps. It is gone, 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 gone. Chuck Knobloch has tied the game with a 2-run home run over the right field wall. Chuck Knobloch, and the ball game is tied at 5.
Jordan went back to the wall, made a leap, and the ball went off his glove and into the seats.
Chuck Knobloch is a hero in New York.
And that's the loudest that I personally have ever heard the stadium when I was out on the field, like running around the bases. My ears were literally ringing because it was so loud. And that's a great feeling. You're so excited and you're trying to control yourself, but it was a lot of fun for me. I had a big smile on my face all the way around the bases.
1 man wins, 1 man loses. And Glavine now left the game with the score tied at 5. In the top of the 9th, Rivera allowed Boone his 4th hit.
Swung, looping line drive, right field, base hit. And there's a start for Atlanta in the 9th. Boone continues his great work with the bat.
So that was a huge play, with Boone leading off the inning against Mariano Rivera, who hardly gives up any hits. But for him to get on base, and then, everybody in the stadium knows that Otis Nixon's coming in to run.
With a pair of 40-year-old legs that could still outrun most anyone.
Girardi's throw is in time. A 1-hopper caught by Jeter, put the tag on, and you know what? Nixon was out.
Well, you just try to get rid of as quick as you can. Mo's not the quickest guy to the plate. He doesn't have to work on it a lot. A lot of times there's not a lot of people on. And I made a throw that bounced. Derek Jeter made a great play, and I think that was a big lift for our club.
At my point, it was a turning point of the game, because if he's in second base, the momentum might shift and they may score a run.
I think that was one of the things that really deflated them, so to speak, because we were playing so well and we were playing so strong, and they felt like they couldn't get any breaks.
It's true, for Mariano settled down and pitched 2 scoreless innings. Likewise, John Rocker threw shutout ball for the Braves, so the game moved to the 10th, and Atlanta called on Mike Remlinger. His first batter, an unlikely hero, Chad Curtis. With 1 home run already, he hadn't hit 2 home runs in a game all year long.
He came into the dugout after his first home run, And I just kind of, hit him a little bit. Said, "Hey, you just hit a World Series home run, And he says, "Well, I still all serious. Well, I want to hit one that counts, that matters."
Swung on a drill deep to left field. That could go. Williams back, looking up. See ya! A home run into the Braves bullpen and left center field. And the Yankees win the game 6-5. And they're one win away from baseball nirvana. Oh, what a home run for Chad Curtis. He rounds third. He heads home. And the entire Yankee team greets him at home plate. What a thrilling come from behind 6-5 Yankee win. Oh man, it doesn't get better than this.
And how did his teammates receive their newfound hero?
To be honest with you, what they told me was that they were happy it happened to me because they thought I was a nice guy and I deserved something like that. And, it's one thing to be a great baseball player, and there's been a lot of those, but I'd rather be a good person than a good baseball player. And for somebody to say that they were glad it was me because I think I'm a good person, that means something to me.
It's just a moment in time. But for a baseball player, it's a moment that is frozen in time forever.
So then he hits the home run, wins the game, and I came in the clubhouse and I caught him over there and I said, "Hey, that one mattered." And he kind of smiled and says, "Yeah, that one mattered."
Ball players are, of course, human and subject to the frailties of life. In the past few months, both Scott Brocious and Luis Sojo had lost their fathers. And now, on the eve of Game 4, Paul O'Neill lost his father too.
I found out on the way to the ballpark what had happened. I came in just to ask him how he's doing, and I heard him say something that really made sense to me. He says, "I just don't want to talk about it right now." And, I know for me, especially the first couple days after I came back, and you try to do your best to kind of put those emotions inside until, you're done doing your job.
Joe Torre always says that when tragedy in your family happens, probably your greatest sanctuary is between those white lines, and maybe this is the place where Paul O'Neill should be tonight.
This is something we've worked hard for, and I know that if his father was here, probably that he'd want him to play, and I think it was a situation where he did the right thing.
As Paul took his customary place in right field, starting pitcher Roger Clemens made his customary visit to the center field monuments, seeking inspiration from the Babe. Only 8 pitchers this century had more career wins without a World Series victory than Roger.
When a guy is struggling a little bit and not playing up to his expectations or anybody else's, it just means that he's due for a great thing.
And he starts the game with a strikeout as Williams chased ball 4.
But Clemens would have to beat playoff pitcher extraordinaire John Smoltz, 12-3 lifetime in the postseason. And early on, Smoltz was dazzling.
And the 1-2. Strike 3 is called inside corner. The next pitch to Lede on the way, and he got him looking inside corner. 3-2 pitch. Strike 3 called. Brocious caught looking, and Smoltz strikes out the side.
But in the bottom of the third, Chuck Knobloch managed to get bat on ball. And that sparked a Yankee rally.
And Smoltz deals, hit hard on the ground to deep short. White's backhands can't come up with it. It's a base hit for Knobloch. Hit hard, base hit right field. A hit and run single as Knobloch rounds second and goes to third.
With 1 out, Bernie Williams was walked intentionally. And that loaded the bases for Tino Martinez.
Hit hard and by Briscoe. Off his glove, into the outfield. 2 runs will score, and Williams speeds to third.
Swung on in line like a bullet. Base hit right field. Bernie scores. It's a ribby single for Posada. And the Yankees take a 3-0 lead.
It's almost like we wait till our opportunity. And if you let us get a little crack, we're going to make it bust wide open.
If you're going to beat the Yankees, you're going to have to make all of the plays. You can't make half of them or 3/4 of the plays.
The Yankees did make all the plays in the series, like when the left side of their infield and their pitcher excelled in the 6th.
Nice play by Clemens, and Weiss is gone.
Swung on and grounded up the middle. Moving to his left, Jeter. Fields behind the back. Fires to first, got him. Oh, what a play by Jeter.
Jones pokes it. Brocious, a great stab, whirling throw. 3 tremendous plays by New York defensively. Clemens leads the cheering section.
And he was very emotional. He was very animated on the mound, and I think he could smell the victory. He could smell the ring.
Deep into the 8th, Clemens was pitching 2-hit ball, but his hustle might have spelled his end.
Weiss with a bouncer. Clemens can't get to it. Now he covers. Martinez flips. Safe. And Clemens may be hurt. He wants to stay in, you know that.
But after a single by Gerald Williams, and with a 3-0 lead, Joe Torre felt Rogers' best chance at getting his first ever World Series win rested with the bullpen.
Listen to this.
Listen to the roar.
Absolutely deafening.
A Red Sox pretty much his whole career, and people say he'll never be able to be a Yankee, and I know how gratifying it is. I know how satisfied he is. And he said, you know, I feel like a Yankee now, and that's just great.
When Jeff Nelson allowed a single to Boone to make it a 3-1 game, the call went out for Series MVP Mariano Rivera, who incredibly had not allowed a run in his last 35 appearances.
Mariano Rivera, unscored upon in this postseason. He's given up 1 run since mid-July.
But to keep these runs from scoring, he'd have to stop Chipper Jones.
The 2-2. Swung on and grounded wide at first. Fielded by Soho. Throws to Tino in time. And Rivera gets out of the inning.
That set the stage for the legend of Jim Leyritz to grow.
Leyritz has always been a dangerous playoff and World Series hitter. He has 7 postseason home runs. Long drive left field. Has Leyritz done it again? You bet.
Do you believe that? Jim Leyritz has given the Yankees a 4-1 lead. Amazing.
And what a smile on his face.
Just what he said when he walked in the dugout. He looked at all of us and said, I don't know. You know?
You could send this guy to a resort during the spring and summer as long as he comes back in October.
You can hear it, sense it, smell it, feel it.
Mariano Rivera, who remembers fashioning a baseball glove out of cardboard in his native Panama, looking to finish the World Series at Yankee Stadium.
And this crowd is prime. The Yankees are prime.
Atlanta's last hope is Keith Lockhart, who's 1 for 3.
Swung on, hit in the air to left center. Bernie trots over. Curtis is there. Curtis makes the catch. Ball game over. World Series over. Yankees win. The Yankees win.
The New York Yankees, world champions, team of the decade, most successful franchise of the century.
The New York Yankees, for the 2nd straight year, for the 3rd time in the last 4 years, have once again reached the pinnacle of the sports world.
I think you had a lot of guys whose thoughts were elsewhere, you know, whether it's with their families or, you know, Mr. Torre thinking about what he's been through. And it was very gratifying for us to win. You know, we worked this hard and everyone knew we had the team to do it. So it was a special moment, but I do think it was a very emotional time.
It's almost like when you have adversity and you're able to overcome adversity and overcome another great team on the field, and, you know, it even makes it sweeter.
25 World Series titles. No one else has more than 9. The first team with back-to-back sweeps since the Yankees of 38 and 39.
It's a team of guys that have put personal things aside, that have put individual goals aside for this one team goal. And when you look and you just see in everybody's face, yeah, this is what it's all about. That's what I remember.
And so, the New York Yankees celebrated their 25th World Series championship. But in their revelry, they couldn't help but feel the presence of their pinstripe past. A legacy and tradition, 100 years in the making, a century of success.
Team of the century, 25 championships, averaged out to one every 4 years, and there's no other team in any other sport that can say that.
This rare assemblage of talent was called Murderers Row, and many consider it the finest team in baseball history.
Well, that's what everybody said it was all about. I finally know what it feels like to be a Yankee.
Lou Gehrig batting.
I think I'm a pretty fortunate fella. Well, at this one particular time when I went to bat, and I looked down at center field and I pointed. I said, I'm going to hit the next pitch ball right past the flagpole. Well, the good Lord must have been with me.
I feel honored to walk on that baseball field when you think of the guys that have played here. First time you walk in the clubhouse, you realize all the players that have put on that uniform.
Just putting on the Yankee uniform, and I'm not exaggerating when I say this, I was proud.
The pitch, hitting straight away, a long, high fly ball going far out into left field. The ball is over the fence for a home run by Joe DiMaggio.
The longer I've been here now, you just realize what tradition is around here and how special it is to be on this team.
I am very happy to be the honor here of such a great game golf ball club as the Yankee Ball Club.
The Yankees are champions again for the 12th time. The Yankees are champions of the world.
Winning. We're winners. It's just an unbelievable feeling to be able to say that you play for a winning organization.
His office pitch to Sal Evars, a liner to the right. Here comes Hank Bauer. He slides, makes the catch. The Yankees win their third straight world championship.
The history, everybody knows about the Yankees. The stuff that goes on around here and the memories that continue to happen, that have been happening forever around here, is just amazing.
Mantle hits a high fly ball. It's deep left center field. It's way out there. It's way out there, and it is in there. I mean, it's in there.
We won 10 World Series, and I was just born at the right time.
And the Yankees are champions. And look at Merrill. Piggyback riding Bob Cazala. The Yankees for the fourth consecutive time.
If you want me to point at one thing and say this is what the Yankees are all about, that's what I would point at. I wouldn't point at one time. I would point at the collection of time and just say the Yankees are about consistency.
It's a base hit in the center field. Bauer rounds third. He's going to come in to score. The Yankees win the World Championship the fifth straight time. And the 12th hit for Billy Martin, a series record. What a series for Billy.
You have to play for the Yankees once and be on World Championship teams to really be a Yankee. And I think that I'm as much Yankee as any Yankees ever played in the ball club.
I'm starting to believe more and more in magic and mystique and everything that goes with it.
Larson is ready, gets the sign. 2 strikes, ball 1. Here comes the pitch. Strike 3. A no-hitter, a perfect game for Joe Larson. Yogi Berra runs out there. He leaps on Larson, and he's swarmed by his teammates. The first World Series no-hitter, a perfect performance by Don Larson. There's one. It is deep to right field, and that ball is going, it is gone. Roger Maris gets his first hit of the series, and you can tell when it left the bat that it was gone. Jackson with 4 runs batted in. There's a fly ball to center field and deep. That's going to be way back, and that's going to be gone. Reggie Jackson has hit his 3rd home run of the game. Reggie Jackson becomes the 2nd man in World Series history to hit 3 home runs in a game.
I was a Yankee fan growing up, so I knew a lot about the tradition and a lot about the mystique playing here in Yankee Stadium, and I get the chills every time I go on the field.
enough for you, buddy.
Everybody feels real fortunate to have a big league uniform on, but there really is something about putting on the pinstripes that just automatically gives you a little shot of pride that this is an organization that's just been a winning organization from the whole century.
Throws across, in time, ball game over. Yankees win. The Yankees win.
It just seems like every year that there's a fairy tale ending to our season and stuff magical happens.
And the New York Yankees, in the final year of the century, have won their 25th World Championship, and indeed are the team of the 20th century. The celebration begins.